Before diving into the spine-chilling details of the unreleased security camera footage, it's essential to understand what makes this case so mysterious and unsettling. The incident in question took place in a small town that was rocked by a series of strange events on a cold winter night. Security cameras are often our silent witnesses, capturing everything from mundane routines to shocking incidents. However, the footage from this particular night was never made available to the public. This begs the question, what was on those tapes that authorities found too disturbing or damaging to release? The significance of this lies not only in the potential horror captured on film, but also in what the withholding of such footage represents. When police refuse to release evidence, especially one that could shed light on an unsolved mystery, it raises suspicions about what might be at stake. Are they protecting public panic, covering internal blunders, or is the reason something even more sinister? To give context, let's consider two examples where security footage became pivotal. The first is the infamous Elisa Lam case, where elevator surveillance captured her last scene moments before she met her tragic end at a hotel. The footage was confusing and eerie, intensifying the world's fascination with the unresolved circumstances. Another case involved the murder of a young store clerk, with the footage bringing crucial clues that eventually paved the way for justice. These examples underline how important and powerful surveillance footage can be, serving as cold, unbiased witness. On the other hand, there are strong opinions about authorities holding back. Some argue it's a breach of trust between law enforcement and the community, creating a divide that's hard to bridge. Others suggest the police might be handling it internally or waiting to build a stronger case. However, the very act of withholding opens doors to rampant speculation and fear, fueling conspiracy theories and giving rise to collective apprehension within the community. This case connects to broader themes of transparency and trust in law enforcement, an issue that touches many aspects of society today. While some information potentially must be withheld for ongoing investigations, the opacity in cases supposedly closed or stalled only adds layers to the horror of not knowing. As we delve deeper, keep this backdrop in mind, because what remains unseen often haunts us more than what is in plain sight. The discovery of the security camera footage that the police initially refused to release happened under unexpected circumstances, setting off a chain reaction of events that captivated public attention. It all began when a local journalist, investigating a series of unexplained incidents in the neighborhood, received an anonymous tip about existing surveillance footage that had never been made public. The footage had been captured by a camera positioned outside a convenience store, located near the epicenter of the mysterious occurrences. Allegedly, the original police investigation concluded without these crucial visuals ever being reviewed in a comprehensive search for answers. The significance of bringing the footage to light cannot be overstated. It posed new questions about transparency and accountability within the police force. By initially withholding the footage, the authorities inadvertently sparked public interest in the case. It became a focal point for those who advocate for more open access to public records, emphasizing the importance of community involvement in ensuring justice. An example of similar situations can be drawn from other high-profile cases, where withheld evidence eventually surfaced. Like the infamous case of the pizza bomber in Pennsylvania, where a delayed release of surveillance footage contributed to public skepticism and theories that range from the plausible to the bizarre. Another example is the publicized demand for video evidence in police-related incidents, which often transforms the dialogue around the event when released, as seen in various cases involving law enforcement. Drawing public interest, investigative journalists played a crucial role. They questioned the motives behind the footage being kept under wraps and compared this situation to prior incidents where withheld footage led to public uproar. Critics of police practices pointed to the potential misuse of power, positing that transparency in such cases should override any procedural discretion exercised by law enforcement. However, skepticism arose regarding the anonymous nature of the tip-off. Some argued that the emergence of the footage could be part of a broader strategy to influence public perception or cloud the investigation. Others suggested that releasing the footage could taint the memories of witnesses or potential jurors, giving rise to concerns about impartiality should the case advance to courtroom proceedings. This discovery interconnects with broader discussions on police reforms and public trust. It emphasizes the importance of a balanced approach that acknowledges both procedural integrity and community transparency. As public interest in the footage grew, so did the debate over the roles of media, law enforcement, and public scrutiny in achieving justice, encapsulating the tensions and responsibilities shared by all parties involved. Security camera footage offers an unfiltered, often unsettling perspective of events as they unfold, preserved in the sterile format of grainy, dispassionate recordings. In this true horror story, analyzing the content of such footage becomes a crucial element in unraveling the mystery that has consumed both investigators and the public. What did these cameras capture that warranted police reticence in releasing the footage? The footage in question, though deliberately withheld, is described by reliable sources as disturbing and inexplicable. It allegedly depicts aberrations that defy mundane explanation, shaking the observers to their core and evoking a spectrum of emotions, from fear to disbelief. The significance of this footage cannot be overstated. It serves as our only direct, albeit enigmatic, witness to the chain of events under investigation. Without accessing this visual evidence, forming a comprehensive understanding of the circumstances is next to impossible. This barrier to transparency has intensified public intrigue and suspicion, fueling conspiracy theories that question whether the authorities are perhaps concealing more than just the footage. One can speculate that the content might include inexplicable phenomena, or perhaps scenes that amplify grief or panic to such an extent that public dissemination is deemed overwhelmingly harmful. Specific examples from the footage include accounts of sudden, unaccounted movements, shadows in places where none should exist, or figures appearing in frames where entry seemed impossible. Consider the harrowing case of a similar nature in Oakland, where security cameras showed a person being lifted off the ground without a visible cause, or the unsettling imagery from a Seoul subway incident where doors slammed shut seemingly of their own accord, prompting widespread fear and mystery. Such incidents emphasize the footage's role not only as a document of potential criminal activity, but also as a mesmerizing puzzle that captures the collective imagination. However, not all believe the footage is extraordinary. Skeptics argue that what the cameras capture might simply be manipulated perceptions, products of suggestion enhanced by low-quality visuals. Technical anomalies or natural occurrences could offer mundane explanations for these chilling scenes, diverting attention from more banal truths. Bridging this footage with broader investigative efforts and maintaining a critical eye on its interpretation forms a delicate balance between sensationalism and sobriety. It connects to wider themes of privacy, truth-seeking, and our perennial fascination with the unknown's shadowy fringes, reminding us of the delicate threshold where reality meets our deepest fears. The victims of this chilling tale, whose stories have since woven an unnerving tapestry in the fabric of the community, were an eclectic bunch, linked by a tragic night none would live to recount. Among them was Carla Jennings, a vibrant 28-year-old artist often remarked for her eclectic exhibitions that painted harsh social realities with stunning vibrancy. Carla was a local icon, passionate about giving back through art therapy workshops aimed at helping troubled youths navigate their tumultuous lives. Her dedication to her craft and community resonated strongly, carving a lasting impact even after her untimely death. Another life cut short was that of Tom Radcliffe, a dedicated high school teacher known for his engaging history lessons that brought the past alive for his students. At 36, Tom was considered a pillar of the community, often volunteering to lead local historical tours and sharing riveting tales with anyone willing to listen. His passion for history and education bonded him with Carla at various art events they both frequented, where they dreamt of a society more aware of its past. Also embroiled in this tragic affair was Joe Tannen, a 40-year-old mechanic with a heart of gold. Known around town for his never-failing readiness to lend a hand, Joe epitomized the good neighbor everyone longs to have. His warmth and generosity regularly extended beyond his garage, offering free repairs to those struggling financially. These acts made him a well-liked figure among many who knew him, adding layers of intrigue and sorrow to his abrupt departure. The common thread uniting these victims is their proximity to a location with a shadowy reputation, a building infamous for odd occurrences and sinister whispers among locals. Although their lives were distinct and vibrant, the shared mystery of what transpired that night binds them forever. The police's refusal to disclose the footage preserves a shroud of secrecy, heightening the chilling aura cloaking this unresolved saga. The reluctance of law enforcement to release the footage raises eyebrows, spawning theories ranging from a cover-up to tales of paranormal experiences too jarring to divulge. The silence from authorities has sparked an alternative narrative. Perhaps the footage reveals something not of this world, invoking genuine horror that challenges belief. What ties this haunted story together is the pain of the victims' families, thrust into a relentless cycle of grief and unanswered questions. As these disparate tales converge, we are reminded of the transient nature of life and the enduring impact whose stories refuse to fade, languishing instead in the unsolved echo of found footage. Follow and subscribe for more scary stories if you are brave enough. What kind of stories keep you up all night?